Why did you become involved in this?
Well, you know, when I was 8 years old, I saw a police officer shot no less than 4 feet away from me and died right there. And I thought what he was doing at the time was noble. And because of that experience, that tragic experience, I decided to have a career in law enforcement. I've been in law enforcement for 30 years. I'm still in it. And as I've gone through the phases of my law enforcement career, I've seen a voluminous number of young black men getting caught up in the criminal justice system. Some of them are hardened at the age of 18. And I felt as a black male wanting to give back to the community that we needed to get to the young men at this age level to try to influence them away from the negativity of the street, to show them that there's an alternative to what's going on in the street. 80% of the kids in my facility now came from a single-headed household headed by females. So male role models are needed, and they're needed urgently. And I think I and 100 Men for Newburgh needed to step up, and we have, to try to make a difference in the lives of these young people.
Now, you said at 8 years old you saw a police officer. Did you grow up in the kind of neighborhood that some of these young men are growing up in?
Well, yes, I grew up in Harlem, and I saw a lot of violence. I think I'll say more than 60% of my classmates from high school and elementary school are either dead or locked up. And I've always wanted to avoid those tragic pitfalls. And I knew the only way to do that was to separate myself from that which I saw on a daily basis and choose an alternative. I think that's what we need to give the young men that are involved in our program, an alternative to what they see on a daily basis. They see a lot of violence, they see a lot of subcultural behaviors, and some of them think that's the norm. We want to show them that there's an alternative to that. You can work, you can be a husband, a father, a brother, and be responsible in the community.
And that was, for you, and just to go back to growing up in Harlem, what made the difference for you? Was it just...
Well, the difference for me, my mom was always the difference. She would take a pot upside your head if you didn't do exactly what she told you to do. My mom was a very, very strong influence on me, and I never wanted to shame or embarrass my mom, so I always tried to do the right thing. I had an experience, this is an aside, I had an experience in high school where my senior year in high school, I was offered a job by a friend to make $1,700 a week. And I thought, Jesus, right out of high school, I'll be making more money than my mom. And I went to the so-called job interview to get the $1,600 a week. And when I walked in, I was introduced to one of the biggest drug dealers in Harlem. And the job that I was supposed to get was to count money. They bought the money and they dumped it on the table. It was so much money. I'd never seen that kind of money in my life. And I knew instantly that my mom wouldn't want me around that type of activity. So I apologetically slipped out of there and chose to go to college and do the right thing, because easy money comes, easy money goes. And I want our young men to understand that it's not all about money. It's about having, morals and doing the right thing. That's what's going to get you through life. You'll stumble here and there, but you always got to get up, dust yourself off, and keep it moving.
Now, these boys that you've been working with here, what do you see when you look at them?
I see potential. When I first walked in the gym, what I saw was chaos. Chaos and youth. Kids are going to want to play. That's what they want to do. They want to run around and play basketball and laugh and giggle, and that's fine. They're children, and we want them to do that. At the same time, I saw the potential of bringing some structure and discipline and teaching them things that they think they can't learn. When we walked in this gym, not one of them knew excuses, which is a piece of poetry that we wrote. Not one of them knew believe in yourself. And we told them, you're going to learn this. Oh, we can't do it. In a few weeks, they all learned it. You heard it for yourself. They've internalized it. They believe it. And I see the changes in them. They look forward to us coming here. In the mornings when I get here at 8, they're standing on the stairwell. They remind me of my kids when they were young. When Daddy came home and you opened the door and they're standing at the top of the stairs. That's what these kids remind me of. I really appreciate that. I was in my car on Liberty Street, and a kid came up and banged on my car window. And I looked up at him, and he says, "Mr. Newton, you don't remember me?" I said, "I really, the face looks familiar." He said, "I'm Johnson." I said, "Oh, how you doing?" He said, "I'm doing all right, I'm doing all right." And he just wandered off. And 2 or 3 days later, I see the kid on TV, and I'm like, "Oh my God, that's Johnson." And, they said he shot 5 people. Like, I couldn't believe it. Now he's going away for a significant period of time.
He's at least 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to do the minimum 40.
Yeah.
So.
And I've had other kids from the city of Newburgh in my facility who have gone on to prison. And it's sad. That's why I'm here. We have to stop this. It's really crazy.